this is Jay from Quantum Flow, and today is Monday, April 1st, 2024. Please be sure to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel at QuantumFlobyJTNC to receive daily market recaps. Today, SPY opened up with the overnight session, making a new all-time high of 525.84. After making this new high, the market chopped around until the open, and then sold off on hotter-than-expected ISM reading, which showed expansion in manufacturing for the first time since September of 2022. Given the mixed core PCI numbers from last Friday, the market cut the odds of a rate cut in June to less than 50%. Given the Federal Reserve wants to see weakening economy with a falling rate of inflation before cutting interest rates. While the rate of inflation is generally cooling, some areas of the economy are finding inflation stickier, and as such, yields on 10-year bonds jumped almost 3%, say, which sent the market lower. The market found support at 521, and toward the end of the day, closed at 522.16. Volume was low at 62 million shares, and price closed just below the lower trend channel in place since October. We mentioned in our last video that while we expect higher prices this week, it would not surprise us to see 1 or 2 days close below the trend channel. Today was day one. We also stated we expected to see early price pressure today to at least 521.50 before the market found its footing and resumed its march higher. The Quantum Flow model nailed it once again. We continue to believe the market will remain range-bound between 525 and the 518 level we have mentioned for several days. We still believe the bulls need to defend 520 to keep the trend aligned, and our models predict higher prices this week as high as 527, again, given there is plenty of room in the trend channel to the upside. Tim posted in the pre-market at 8:04 a.m. He felt the market at an all-time high. It was possible price would move to as high as 527. He also mentioned if price started to fall, 522.30 was certainly in play. And while he favored the long side pre-market, as we have said many times, when an economic report is released, throw out any assumptions the model makes as the data inputs have changed, and the model's price predictions are no longer valid. We stress to trade what you see and react to news as delivered. While the low in the day was 520.97, the market did find support just below Tim's lower target as it fell after the ISM report at 10 a.m. It's important to note that the post-market recaps tend to have a bit longer-term view of the market, while Tim in the pre-market is tasked with providing more intraday price predictions. But again, watch for the market to react to news or other economic releases so you can better incorporate both pre- and post-market intelligence into your trading. There are thousands of data points analyzed by Quantum Flow with actionable and tradable levels. Absent other macro or economic factors, this information is highly accurate and is something you should learn to incorporate into your daily trading. We continue to remain bullish and expect to see higher prices this week, including new all-time highs. But as we have said for several days, the market needs time to digest higher prices, so another day or two at or near the lower trend channel should be expected before we see much higher prices. We at Quantum Flow, however, continue to buy all dips. For Tuesday, we expect to see prices test 520 early in the session before moving higher. There is a reasonable probability the market makes a move toward 525 Tuesday afternoon. There is only one relevant economic report on Tuesday at 10 a.m., but with that said, there are a slew of Fed officials speaking tomorrow starting at 10:10 a.m. all the way to 1:30 p.m. 4 Fed officials speaking tomorrow has a pretty strong probability of moving the markets one way or the other. A dovish tone, and the market is off to the races, but any hawkish language could certainly bring in much lower prices, initially as low as 518. And if that fails to hold, we will see 516 before any bounce. 2 red days in a row has been the pattern for several months before the market finds energy to march higher. It would not surprise us if Tuesday was the second red day in a row. QuantumFlow projects SPY's range for Tuesday to be 518 to 525. This range is expanding, which tends to lead to more volatility and directional trading. Get with the trend and ride it level to level to maximize your profits. QuantumFlow was flat coming in today and put on 2 weekly lineup trades buying calls on Snap and WBA Walgreens. Walgreens fell apart during the session and could end up being a losing trade, but we have 4 days to expiry, so we will hold this position to see if we can eke out at least a break even. Snap is setting up well for this week, and from the list of stocks we posted on Sunday night, all but one moved higher today. Dealer positioning for Tuesday to the upside has dealers buying 523 calls in small size, while selling 524 and 525 calls in some size. This implies a weak push at some point Tuesday to at least 524. To the downside, dealers are buying 522 to 516 puts in roughly the same size as the calls they are selling, implying a market stuck in a range between 520 and 524. Again, market makers are selling calls to finance the purchase of puts to protect to the downside. 520 is a level to watch for failure, because if it does fail, the market will move lower to 518 before finding any material support. We continue to recommend buying protection for any long portfolio. Looking out to next Friday, we see dealers buying 523 to 526 calls, implying a move to a new high. They are also selling 527 and higher calls, in limiting the upside to probably 527, far below the top of the upper trend channel. Dealers are also buying 521 and lower strike puts in a 3-to-1 ratio over the calls being bought, implying more concern about potentially lower prices than higher prices. While they clearly want to participate in any upside move, they are taking great strides to also protect against downside risk. April is typically the second strongest month of the year, so it would not surprise us to see higher prices in April. But we are starting to believe the market is reaching a peak, and valuation being sitting currently at 29 times earnings. Certainly, dealer positioning does change each day, so be sure to check in with QuantumFlow's pre-market analysis and post-market recaps to understand how dealer positioning will affect the day's price action. Tim posts in the pre-market by 9 a.m., and we post these market video recaps typically by 9 p.m. Eastern Time. We strive to deliver actionable intelligence you can use in your day's trading and these market updates. Good luck and good trading.